Hey, what up YouTube? It's your boy Angel, and today we're going to show you some of the things that you can do to get your muscles loose. So, some of the things that you can do in order to make your body nice and loose and limber is you can foam roll. And what is foam rolling? Foam rolling is rolling on this thing. This is a piece of condensed foam, and I bought this one years ago. I don't know if you guys can see how beat up that is, but it's pretty beat up. I think even at one point my cat decided to scratch the crap out of it. So if anything, if you never use this little torture device, well, it could be a great cat scratch post if you got cats. So, how does this thing work? Well, foam rolling. So, what is foam rolling? Well, it's quite literally as it sounds. It's rolling out on a piece of condensed foam. Why do people do this? People roll out on condensed foam in order to release the myofascia that is out and around your body. What is the myofascia? The myofascia is a thin, silty layer on the internal portion of the skin and the muscle. It's in between those places. I don't know if you've ever taken a piece of chicken breast and had the opportunity to see that thin, silty, almost oil slick-like color. Piece of skin or tissue that is in and around the actual breast tissue of the chicken breast. That's the myofascia. Why is it important to roll out the myofascia? Rolling out the myofascia is really important because when you receive an injury or a fall, the myofascia will tighten up and protect your body like body armor, and it has the potential to knot up or ball up and create 10,000 pounds worth of pressure in a dime-sized circumference area. What can this do to your body? Well, sometimes it can make a muscle really, really tight and cause you to have a lot of aches and pains, sometimes some immobility issues. If you notice right now, just my mobility with my neck and receiving decent comfort is actually not that good right now. And so the reason why I'm going to start foam rolling again is because, well, I need it. You might ask, how do you roll out? Well, I'm going to show you in this video today. And I'm going to also show you some of the devices that you can use in order to do it. I'm kind of noticing that one of them actually just rolled away, so I might have to go get it in a second. But let's just start with what I got right here. So the first one is going to be this softball. This softball is awesome. I believe they cost about 10 bucks. And what it allows you to do is actually foam roll your psoas muscle. And the psoas muscle is actually what's connected to a lot of back issues and back pain, due to the fact that we're constantly sitting at desks, or even for the fact that we were sitting for a good 12 to 13 years of our life, especially for all you young guys who are still in college and school. Due to the fact that you're sitting all the time, you shorten the psoas muscle, and it gets weak, which then creates a general empiric pelvic tilt or interior rotation that can cause a lot of back pain. So, releasing the myofascia in and around the muscle, as well as doing a deep tissue massage, will really help to alleviate some of that back tension that can sometimes be created from the psoas. The other thing that this ball, as well as a lacrosse ball, is great for, which, why don't I grab that? Here's that lacrosse ball. It's great for rolling out your gluteus medius and gluteus maximus. If you pair the softball up with rolling out your psoas muscle and the lacrosse ball to roll out your gluteus medius and maximus, your butt, you're actually going to alleviate a lot of back issues and back pain. Now, these are two great pieces of equipment to buy, if you want to call them equipment, sports equipment, whatever, They are great tools to buy for myofascial release. You know, $5, $10, $15, you've got yourself a really great self-massaging tool. The other thing that you can do is you can pick up 3 lacrosse balls and use 2 of them to tape up with hockey tape to make this cool little device. This little guy is great for rolling out your feet, inside and outside of your plantar fascia, and then you can also take this and roll it all up and down your supraspinae, all up and down your back muscles. You rest your spine in between this little divot here, and it just rolls up and down, up and down. Wicked little thing. Now, the other thing that you could buy that I find to be really helpful for things like my calf muscle and rolling out my calf muscle is the tiger tail. And I got 2 here. I got one that's nice and smooth. This is actually the very first myofascia tool I ever bought. And I got this one here later on, much later on, when I started to get really advanced with foam rolling. This one here's got a whole bunch of little triangles in it. And the thing about foam rolling is, the smaller the surface area of contact, the more intense this myofascial release can be. So not only is the surface area of circumference important. So for example, this ball is nowhere near as intense as this ball. The pressure point is much, much greater, therefore way more painful to roll out on certain spots with this than this, or this. So the other thing about this is that density matters as well. You see, the lacrosse ball is far more dense than this foam roller. Now if you were to have this foam roller, would work for you on your quads and on your on your quads, on your hamstrings, and on your IT band, as well as your calf muscles. But after a while, this thing just won't be dense enough for you to roll out with anymore. And what you're gonna find is that you're gonna look for something harder, and that would be a PVC pipe. Now, I know that there are these fancy covered PVC pipes with all the rubber and everything like that. I personally went to a construction site and scored this one. They just have them sometimes lying around. As you can see, it's not even cut true. So I scored this one for free. I'm sure you could even find them from Home Depot if you wanted to. And I use this guy to roll out when I find that my myofascia is loose and I no longer benefit from the actual foam roller itself. Now there are ones online that you can buy of the PVC pipe that are actually rubberized and have like a little bit of grip, a little bit of texture to them. And what makes that so special is that the ground is not a great, doesn't have a lot of traction. This thing likes to slip around a lot when you're trying to roll out. And so in order for me to battle that, I have a yoga mat that I roll out on. Sometimes on the carpet it's not as bad as, say, the hardwood floor. Foam rolling can be a very intense endeavor, and this is something that I actually want to change in terms of people's belief structures around how to appropriately foam roll. Foam rolling is painful, but it shouldn't be so painful that it stops you or prevents you from doing it. One of the things that people don't realize within the fitness community is that the pain response that you're receiving from foam rolling is actually conducive or counterproductive, from what you're trying to achieve. If you are finding that you are rolling out your body and you're in so much pain that you're locked up and tensing and shallow breathing just to try to get through the foam rolling activity, you're not actually benefiting fully from the experience. Why? Because your muscles are rigid and your fascia is actually tightening up and tensing just to try to protect you. So there's this like sweet balance point of discomfort and relaxation that you need to be able to obtain. One rule of thumb that I have is that you roll out to a particular point, and when you receive pain and discomfort, you stop and potentially lighten up on the amount that you're pressing in or how much weight you put in onto the point of contact of you and the foam roller. And then you do movement into that muscle very slowly. And as you gradually do this, the the body will start to signal that it's safe to just release the myofascia, release the tension, and then you will actually feel the muscle relax and let go of all that neurotic energy. That's actually something that's really neat about foam rolling, is that when you hit a hot spot or you hit a tight location, you actually sometimes get this feeling of warmth and then the muscle just letting go, and being completely relaxed. And then you can continue to roll up and down that muscle with little to no pain or discomfort. This is how you know that it's working. The other thing that I advise is not to waste your time rolling out muscles that don't hurt. If you haven't trained the muscle, or you don't have a hot spot or tightness in that muscle, there's really no point in wasting your time. Skip on over and find yourself some places that need the work and put the attention into that muscle. One of the things that's really important about myofascial release that isn't really talked about is that A, it has the ability to push nutrients into the muscle by allowing better circulation and blood flow. And B, there's a thing called venous pooling. It's where when you work out your muscles and you break them all down, they end up actually getting little micro cuts in them. And then those little micro cuts fill up with blood, and that blood gets really hard and really dry. And so that's called venous pooling. And a lot of times that's where a lot of the discomfort and pain comes from, outside of your delayed onset muscle soreness. So, in order to try to speed up the act of recovery, what you do with your foam roller is you're actually breaking all of that blood back down, pushing new blood back into the surface tissue, and then allowing for a speedier and less painful recovery. So, these are all the small benefits as to why you'd want a foam roll. I'm going to run you guys through a little quick full body foam roll with just my foam roller, and over time I'm going to create a little video segment just showcasing and walking you guys through it. If that's something that you guys would like to actually see, it'd be a huge help if you would leave a comment down below just to let me know, like, hey, it'd be cool to have a video segment of foam rolling. Maybe we can make that a part of a meditative practice that we can do on a certain day of the week. Anyway, you guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this foam roll, and I'm going to overlap some Alan Watts over top of the video. If you like the video, please like the video, and if you want to see future videos like this, be sure to subscribe. See you in the next video.
Akira The Don. He's got clout.
The web of life. Let me try from the first to indicate the point that we're aiming at. The point is this, that human consciousness is at the same time as being a form of awareness and sensitivity and understanding, it's also a form of ignorance. The ordinary, everyday consciousness that we have leaves out more than it takes in. The ordinary, everyday consciousness that we have leaves out more than it takes in. And because of this, it leaves out things that are terribly important. It leaves out things that would, if we did know them, allay our anxieties and fears and horrors. And if we could extend our awareness, you see, to include those things that we leave out, we would have a deep interior peace. Because we would all know the one thing that you mustn't know. The ordinary, everyday consciousness that we have leaves out more than it takes in. The ordinary, everyday consciousness that we have leaves out more, according to the rules of our particular social game. one thing you mustn't know, that's really not allowed, that is the lowdown on life. And then the lowdown, on the one hand, means the real dirt on things. But the lowdown is also what is profound, what is mysterious, what is in the depths. And there's something left out. And our everyday consciousness screens this out in the same way that when you say you have weaving, you have, say, on this rug here in front of us, when the black finishes here, the black threads will go underneath and then appear again over here, then they'll go underneath the white, and then they'll appear again over here, you know? So that the back will be the obverse pattern of the front. Now, the world is like that. The ordinary everyday consciousness that we have leaves out more than it takes in. The ordinary everyday consciousness that we have leaves out more than it takes in. Our sense organs are selective. They pick out certain things. They're receptive. For example, we have a small band, what you might call a spectrum of light, of sound, of tactile sensation, and so on, to which the human organism is sensitive. But we know that outside that small band, there is a huge range of vibrations to which we have built instruments that are sensitive. Things like cosmic rays, ultraviolet rays, gamma rays, hard X-rays, and so on. They're all outside the band of our spectrum. And obviously, there are things that are outside the range of our instruments. We may build new instruments someday which will evoke, bring into our consciousness other orders of vibration altogether, but yet, as yet, we don't know about. So you could imagine, you see, the universe is a vast system of vibrations and has infinite possibilities. The ordinary everyday consciousness that we have leaves out more than it takes in. The ordinary everyday consciousness that we have